Life is an incredible journey filled with loads of ups and downs. And we don't have control over what happens to us, but we absolutely have control about how we respond to those things. Welcome back. I'm Amy, and we're continuing with this series of self-development in 10 minutes or less. And today I want to talk about something that will impact every area of your life, and it's resilience. A lot of what I'll be speaking about today will build on the ideas from the book Resilience That Works: 8 Practices for Life and Leadership. And I want to talk about how resilience and how we respond to life's challenges can build our character. I want to begin by speaking about an analogy with eggs. Now, I heard a similar analogy a while ago and I couldn't remember where I got it from. But with a lot of research, I managed to find that I got it from a TEDx talk by Sitawa Wafula. And because I just vaguely remembered this, I actually adapted it, but I still want to give Sitawa credits. So I first want to talk about boiled eggs. When we boil eggs, they become hard. And many people are like this too. When life's challenges happen to some people, they do become hard. They do become closed off, and they might be resistant to change. On the other hand, we can think of fried eggs. We fry eggs and they're sunny side up, they're soft. And this can also happen to people, that life's challenges happen to people and they become a shell of themselves, pun intended, and they feel like they have a chip on their shoulder. They feel extremely victimized by the way that things have played out. On the other hand, you can become an egg that gets used in a cake, flapjacks, or even an omelette. You get transformed into something that you never even imagined because you had the potential to see what you could do with that difficult experience. Now, I'm not trying to say that difficult experiences are easy or that it's easy to move through them, but being able to take a step back and realize that how you respond to a difficult challenge says a lot more about you than the challenge itself, you will find your strength of character. Firstly, let's define what resilience is. It's not just about pushing through and gritting your teeth and bearing everything. It's about giving yourself the space to feel what you need to feel and not just bouncing back, but bouncing higher the next time or feeling like you can approach something with more wisdom and more lessons having learned them. Also, the important part of resilience is that you don't have to wait for challenging times to practice this essential life skill. You can build it up so that you insulate yourself for when things do happen. And you can do this by focusing on physical well-being, mindfulness, and practicing cognitive reappraisal or reframing. And I'll get into each. Let's first talk about physical well-being. This involves exercise, nourishing your body in terms of what you feed it, and getting adequate sleep. If we have a good routine in place where we look after our physical well-being, we are in a much better position to be able to handle any difficulty that life throws our way. Think about it this way. When you've had a terrible night's sleep and something bad happens to you the next day, you feel a lot less equipped to deal with it. And that's why it's so important to focus on these things that you can easily take for granted. Take your workout routine, for example, too. When life's going well, this is something that likely adds to your life and makes you feel good. But when life's going bad, I know for me at least, my exercise routine enables me to get out of my head, to focus on something different, and it shows me that I'm capable of progressing in different areas of my life. When we have routines in place that allow us to feel good physically, we're way more equipped to be able to handle stress and obstacles that get put in our way. When we also have these good routines in place, we are able to just continue with them even when things feel disruptive. That's the beauty of habits, and that's the beauty of routines, that it takes more effort to break out of it than just to move with it. So use it to your advantage. Now let's talk about the second one, mindfulness. I know I speak about this a lot, and maybe you hear and read about it a lot too, but I do just want to highlight this for you and emphasize it so that if you haven't already been encouraged to try it out, you will be after this video. Mindfulness in whatever form, whether or not that's meditation, yoga, or a mindful walk, or just mindfully being present, allows you to focus. And that ability to focus is so vital, because when difficult things happen, you're able to focus on one thing at a time instead of feeling like you are absolutely paralyzed by this thing that is happening to you. On top of this, you're able to maintain a sense of presence, and being able to be present in the moment helps you a lot, because you are not ruminating over the past and you are not stressing about the future. You're focusing on what you can do now. And can you see how that's a much more empowering approach, especially when dealing with obstacles that might pop up? The important thing about mindfulness too is that being present and having a mindfulness practice encourages you to let your thoughts come and let them go. We don't clear our thoughts and have an absolutely blank slate of a mind. No, we're realistic that our thoughts come, but we don't attach to them. And that's the important part. That being resilient means being able to have difficult emotions, difficult thoughts, and not feel like it becomes us. And practicing mindfulness, even on a daily basis, allows you to build up that skill bit by bit. And then in a lot of ways, I saved the best one for last. It's cognitive reappraisal or reframing. Now, I just want to preface that this doesn't mean that a difficult thing happens to you and you have to just get over it and push through it and maybe even pretend that it didn't happen. That's not the case at all. It's so important to give yourself the space to feel what you need to feel. Those emotions are valid and they deserve to be processed. Once you do that, it is helpful to take a closer look at this experience or challenging event that you've gone through. We can't change it. So imagine it as the ocean floor that you cannot move. But what can you do on top of that ocean floor that you cannot move? A helpful question is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience that my future self will thank me for? You can't change the thing that has happened. So how can you use it in such a way that you become the egg that was in the cake or the flapjack or the omelette and not the boiled egg or the fried egg? Think about this in your life and think about the fact that it's up to you to see what potential things you can gain from difficult experiences in your life. So there you have it. Building up your physical well-being, mindfulness practice, and working on cognitive reappraisal or reframing allows you to practice resilience and in turn become more resilient. Remember, resilience isn't an innate trait. You can definitely grow to become more resilient if you choose to and if you're intentional about it by practicing those 3 things that I discussed today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do share any thoughts that you have in the comments down below, as well as any questions that you might have, and I'd really love to read them, and I do make an effort to try and reply to them all. So thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as this really helps me reach more people, and to like this video, as this also just gets me out there. See you next time.